Hello, people. Today, do you know the causes of abortion? Do you know why your baby comes out before it is time? Have you ever thought of the baby coming out when you are not ready? Today, I want us to see what causes the abortions or the miscarriages, what people always say. So, there are so many things that causes the abortion that you always see. Mothers get unexpected bleeding that they don't know where it is coming from. Have you ever taken a time and you think about what this cause could be? So today I want us to see the things that can cause a miscarriage or call it an abortion. So if we can ask, what is an abortion? An abortion or a miscarriage, this is a pregnancy that comes out before the 28 weeks. When you give birth to your baby and it's below 28 weeks, it's a miscarriage or it's an abortion. Many of you will tell you that you have got an abortion and you see it as if it's a crime. No, it's not a crime. The abortion is the same as the miscarriages that we always talk about. So, but these abortions or the miscarriages, they have so many causes if we can talk about them. And most times you can have one or two causes of these things. So when your baby or comes out before the 28 weeks, maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, have you ever tried to find out what the cause could be? So today I want us to look at those causes of the abortions. One, have you ever thought of your blood group? Have you ever thought of your blood group? Do you know that you can have a blood group that is not the same as your husband and you get a rhesus incompatibility when your blood group O positive and then when your blood group O negative and then your husband is blood group O positive? Do you know that that is a rhesus incompatibility? Why? Your blood is not corresponding with your husband's blood. So automatically what you're going to carry into your uterus is going to turn to, your body is going to sense that something is falling in your uterus or your womb. So automatically this rhesus incompatibility is going to cause your baby to come out, irrespective of how many weeks, irrespective of the months of the pregnancy, automatically it has to come out. That's one. Have you ever thought of the cervical incompetence, where your cervix cannot hold? In Uganda, we call it nabana, where your nabana cannot hold the baby up to term. Some of us, you have never taken cane. Every pregnancy you get, it comes out. Every pregnancy you try to conceive, it comes out. Have you ever tried to find out the reason? Have you ever tried to find out the state of your cervix? You could be having a cervical incompetence, whereby your cervix cannot hold the baby in the uterus. And as the weight is coming on, as the weight is building on, you find when the weight overcomes the cervix, you find that the cervix automatically it has to open and the baby gives way. So with that, you're going to find that every pregnancy you get, you're going to lose it because your cervix cannot hold the baby. Another thing, have you ever thought that we have what we call the malformations of the baby? Malformations. When your baby is not developed well, in that process of development, you find that the baby has not developed well. And then when it comes in the uterus on the womb, the body itself has to expel it out. The body has to expel that thing that has not developed well. That's why some of us, you get the miscarriages, and then you wonder what could be the cause. I've not suffered malaria, I've not suffered UTIs, but you found the pregnancy when it came out automatically. One of the causes could be, and most of those miscarriages, you find that you don't have a direct cause to why the pregnancy has come out. But you could be that the baby that was trying to form has not formed very well. And the body itself, it released it out. So that's why sometimes we say that abortions or the miscarriages of unknown causes. And then you say that maybe the baby had not developed so well in the uterus. So that could be also another thing. We have what you call a brightened ovum. You you conceive or you become pregnant, but as in the development of the fetus, you find that the sac is there, but ideally the baby did not form inside. So you find that the sac is there. When you test pregnancy, it is a positive test, but when they do the scan, they don't see the fetus in the sac. So you get what they call a blighted ovum. Hmm? When the sac forms and then there is no fetus in the sac, automatically that pregnancy cannot grow because the baby has not developed in that sac. So automatically that baby has to come out. The medical diseases. There are so many medical diseases that can make the baby to come out. Have you ever thought about them? Have you suffered from malaria? Do you know that malaria can cause the pregnancy to come out, can cause an abortion, can cause a miscarriage? The untreated malaria, the untreated urinary tract infections, the unmanaged diabetes. When the diabetes is not managed very well, the one that we call SCAD, SCAD. If it is not managed very well and it's not normalizing, do you know that you can also get an abortion? If the pressures are not so controlled, eh? You do know that you can get an abortion. If the malaria is not managed very well, there is that too much heat, the one that you always feel, and then when that same heat, that same fever that you always find, that you always get, it is the same fever that goes into the uterus. So with that, you find that the pregnancy has to come out because the baby cannot withstand the heat that is also inside. You know that. Then we have the traumas. Some of us, we get the miscarriages. We get the abortions when you fall down. When you fall down. And then as you're moving on a border, you find yourself, you are falling down. And then maybe you're falling on the womb, on the abdomen. And then you find that the pregnancy automatically has to come out. Your husband kicks you on the uterus. You get a blow on the uterus. Automatically, that is a trauma to the womb. And automatically, it's going to make the baby to come out. So with that, that's why sometimes we take a mile and ask you, did you fight? Are you in good terms with your husband? Has your husband told you anything? Yeah? Then stress, the too much stress that you always get. You know, when you are pregnant, there are so many hormones. We get a lot of hormonal imbalances. When we are pregnant, other hormones raise, others fall. So with that, you're going to find that every time, sometimes due to those hormones, sometimes you're going to become so stressed. And with that stress, you're going to find yourself that the too much stress can still cause the abortion, can still cause the pregnancy to come out. The hormonal imbalances. Do you know that when your hormones are not balanced, still you can get the miscarriage or the abortion, and you cannot tell whether your hormones are balanced or they're not balanced. So you just find the pregnancy coming out, but you don't know the cause, and it's hard to find out whether now my hormones have normalized, whether my hormones are very high, whether my hormones are very low. But the hormonal imbalance itself is going to cause the pregnancy to come out. So, and there is no way sometimes we can get to know whether the hormones are balanced or not. Then we can talk about also the abnormalities. Some of us, we have the uterus that are divided in the middle. You find that your uterus has a septum, your abdomen has a septum, and as the baby is growing, when something is having a septum, your baby cannot enlarge and grow to the full term because of the limited space, that it has. And then you find that the baby cannot grow up to 9 months. Automatically, as it's trained to to grow, to enlarge, the space is limited and it cannot allow it to grow up to term. So when you have those abnormalities of the uterus, don't find your don't be surprised when you see that your baby comes out. That's why sometimes it's always very important to do an ultrasound scan, because if you do an ultrasound scan, it is one way that is going to help you know that you're having other abnormalities of the uterus. We have what we call the fibroids, ebizimba, ebizimba bya nnabaana. You could be having the fibroids, those myomas, that cannot allow the baby to grow up. As the baby is growing, it is competing with a fibroid that is very big, and you find that the baby cannot compete for the space with that fibroid that is very big. So when you have the uterine myomas, those fibroids can also make every pregnant that you get to come out, every pregnant to come out, every pregnancy to come out. So as we are still searching for those causes, we should also look into that. The exercise, the too much exercise, sometimes when you exercise a lot, can also cause the pregnancy to come out. So with that, let us always be keen when we get pregnant. Let us monitor the pregnancies that we get. Let us monitor our lives. Let us monitor the time. As you conceive, you should also plan to think about those things. Don't be stressed. Don't get overstressed. The thing stress is a very serious thing in pregnancy. So let us try as our best to always avoid those things. If they can be managed, always let us go to the health facilities to seek for medical advice. As we are winding up, please subscribe, share, like, and give a follow to the YouTube. Our YouTube channel is always available at Midwife Winfrey. Feel free to subscribe for more videos because more is there on the YouTube channel.